Is underwriter used to exist before?
They did, but they were looser. They were looser back then because you had something that was called like a stated program.
Okay.
Where people could say that they're a plumber, and then you can just look and see the average of what a plumber was making at the time.
Oh my God, that's what you used to do?
That's what you were able to do.
So I say, I
didn't
nurse.
do it personally.
I'm a
but
nurse. I
heard
just
about
put on the application, I'm a nurse, and you just
Correct.
go the average income of a nurse.
The average income of a nurse didn't have to have pay stubs or any of that. Put
This
the
is
occupation
crazy.
of the person. It was called stated income.
Came here in 2007, right in the middle of the crazy crisis. If your heart is not into it, do not do it. That's what I always tell them.
If you're making around 70K, look to be able to qualify for a home somewhere around 250, 275 in that bracket. As
Onions and juices and all that, and put some lemon and onion, and you make him drink it, right?
And Alex, all my listings need a video. All of them.
Hi guys, welcome back. I am Danielle Bilumbu Leach right here at Let's Keep It Real, and I'm here with Mr.
Abu Jabi with AMP London. How y'all doing today?
Great. So as you can hear, guys, my voice is back.
Yes, she's back, guys. She's back.
My voice is back. It's not 100%. I can still feel the back a
Yeah.
little bit, but it's back at 98%. I still have that 2%.
Yeah.
But anyway, so today we're going to talk about how the election have impacted the real estate with sales and sales volume, prices, and interest rate. And of course, we have here the expert in mortgage who's going to break it down for us. How you doing, Abu?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I am great. So now, well, today I can see that you voted. I can see your little patch right here.
See? I voted this morning. Let's go.
So by the time this one air, the election would have passed, so we can't comment about who's the winner, who's not.
Yeah.
But yes, so
Whoever it is, go out there and cast your vote, guys. Go out there and cast your vote.
Gotcha. All right. So, actually, this year is my first election for the president.
Okay.
Yeah.
This was your first time.
That's my first time voting for the president
Congratulations.
in America. I've been voting.
Congratulations.
I've been voting in France since I was 18, but
Okay.
and I still keep voting here, even if
Okay.
I'm in the US. But yeah,
Okay.
that's my first election.
Okay. Well, welcome.
Yes.
First speak.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm one of you guys now.
Yeah. Come on. Come on.
Okay, so let's take a look at those the sales price that went up. So based on those numbers, and there will be somewhere on the screen, Alex will make sure to have it posted so you guys can take a look at with us. For the home sales price, out of 9 election, the last 11 presidential election, you can see here that all this home sales price went up. So that just tell you how people are right before the election. They're kind of scared.
Yeah, I'm seeing from 1978. Is it 78? Yeah.
Yes.
1978. This graph goes all the way to 2023. For the most part, the market's been going up, starting back from 1990. Yeah, about 1990, it started going on the uprise all the way currently to now.
But look at the number on between 2003 and 2006. Do you see the peak?
Yeah, that was a huge pick.
What happened there?
That was a huge pick.
That was right before the boom of 2007.
Yeah, that's around the time I got into the business.
Yeah, at that time when I just came into real estate, I remember Realtor and all the brokers, they used to say, "Oh my God, back in the day, early 2000,
Yeah.
you now the practice is you want to buy a house. Let's have a consultation.
Yeah.
Let's go over numbers. You need to talk to a lender first.
Yeah.
To you need to shop on budget, and you need to know how much money you have in your pocket, right, before going on and submit an offer, because there's so many different things when you enter into a contract. You don't want to lose your money as a buyer. So before, they told me that as a buyer, you just go look at the house and then you call the lender, and the lender will figure out which type of deal it can put you in order for you to purchase the home. Wow. So now you need to tell me which type of deal they used to put people on like that.
Yeah. Well, no. When I got in, we were doing more refinances. When I was in, dealing with realtors. It was a time where it was a refi boom, and we were refining people out of the high interest rates to a lower interest rates. We were on the phone calling leads, cold calling people, introducing ourselves. It was a hard way of making a living, but we definitely were pushing with making those calls and doing refinances.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. But for buyers in general, they were just. I saw a lot of people. When I was working in finance, that they had a lot of balloon type of mortgage.
Correct.
So they have no idea. So pretty much the person went and looked for a house, and then all of a sudden, the lender sent them a letter. You do have, I don't know how many time, how long, whatever, but short period of time to pay me this loan, because actually they were paying interest only. And they have no idea. Yeah. And then one time I met a lady, and she was like, I don't know what to do. And I was still working in finance. I was just there to help her with her life insurance and her savings. And then she was like, oh, I don't know what to do. I'm about to lose my house. I suppose the bank want me to pay this amount. I don't have it. She has 2 loans. One of them was a balloon, and then it was due within 2 months, I believe, at that time, if I remember. That's so long ago.
Yeah, so in those times, I mean, you had it to where buyers weren't as educated as they are now as far as loan products and what was being offered. So you would have people that would have, arm loan where they put you in a fixed rate, let's say for the first 3 to 4 years. You have a fixed rate, and then after that, depending on what the interest rates were at that time, they would go up, and then you would probably have a balloon payment that was due at the end of the last 2 years of that loan. And a lot of people lost their houses in those type of loans as well.
Yeah, that's what the economy, the crisis happened in 2007. That was just very unfortunate for some people. I felt so bad for that lady. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, it was a form of like predatory lending. You know what I mean? Where you had these type of lending options that you were putting people in, and you knew that the majority of the people weren't going to be able to maintain those type of payments. And then there would be foreclosures, and then people would be able to get properties at a cheaper price.
Yeah, so that's why when Obama got elected, he helped change a lot of these laws. Exactly. That's where all the new things that you're doing right now is based on.
Yeah, the Fred Dodd Act that came into place. Those were one of the things that he rolled out that helped out as well with a lot of loans.
What's some of the stuff that you're doing right now to make sure the person is really conscious, and some extra step you got? Is underwriter used to exist before?
They did, but they were looser. They were looser back then because you had something that was called like a stated program.
Okay.
Where people could say that they're a plumber, and then you can just look and see the average of what a plumber was making at the time.
Oh my God, that's what you used to do?
That's what you were able to do.
So I say, I
didn't
nurse.
do it personally.
I'm a nurse. I just put on the application, I'm a nurse, and
Correct.
You just go the average income of a nurse.
The average income of a nurse, didn't have to have pay stubs or any of that. Put the
This is
occupation
crazy.
of the person. It was called stated income.
Wow.
Which was an actual thing, and people were buying houses like that with that stated income.
So they can lie. They have no way to. You guys, the underwriter, were not requesting any kind of proof.
There was no proof that was needed. You come in, you stated that you were a doctor, you were a dentist, you were a nurse, you were whatever, electrician, and whatever that job requirement was, then they would state that that's what you were doing, and that's how you were able to qualify to get your home.
What about self-employed people? Was that the same thing too?
I'm not sure with self-employed people. Like I stated, when I got into the business, we were doing refinances. So I had no hands into that, none.
And then outside, so now the new way of doing it is now you guys have to do verification of employment, right?
Yeah, there's verifications of employment.
It takes a little longer.
There's a 4506T, which is the transcripts to make sure that what you actually show, because you can file taxes and put any numbers down and not send it to IRS. And present it and act like, oh, these are my tax returns, right? So there was a thing implemented to where now we would have to get the actual transcripts from IRS matching what you gave us to be able to verify that those numbers were accurate.
Okay, so employment check. Which other things that you guys added there, there were not before?
Redlining, where you would try to look at a low-income person and the income that they were making and try to project an actual program on these people because you would feel that they weren't able to qualify for other things just because they were low income or in a certain specific zip code. All those things have been prohibited now.
Okay. And what else was added?
Your appraisal value.
Before people were not doing appraisal?
They were doing appraisals, but the way the appraisers would do it, they weren't held liable as far as what the value of that actual property was. It could be inflated.
So back in the day,
yeah,
I'm seeing a house we negotiate at $300,000.
Yeah.
The appraisal come back at $290,000. They were just getting loose and don't care about it. They still give you the loan for the $300,000
loan because it wasn't scrutinized the way that it is now. So
does the appraisal company was attached to the lender, or it was still a third party?
It was still third party, but everything was to the appraiser's opinion. So when you're doing the appraisal from an appraisal standpoint, it's the opinion based off of themselves. So everybody has their own opinion, right? But you weren't basing it based off of facts.
Oh, so they were not sending you an appraisal document?
You would have appraisal documents. I just don't know how they were doing it with the comps. Trying to verify it to other properties that were same square footage, same room,
same
area, that type of stuff.
Was it easy, for example, if you're a seller, you don't agree with the appraiser, you can go and get your own appraiser and provide that to the lender too back in the day?
It wasn't that much education to it. Sellers were able to do it, but it wasn't something that was promoted for them to do.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay, but now it's a serious matter.
It's a serious matter
if
now because we had a crash. So when the crash happened, all the chaos started, and then there was a new world after that.
Okay, but the appraisal was also very difficult to get done when we have the excitement of 2020, 2021, right, during COVID, because prices were just going up like crazy. Seller used to have like 20, 30 offers. So for the appraiser, they have to go with number based on 6 months before, but the market was showing that there's no way you can use 6 months really before, or even 3 months, because now we have for one house we have 50 offers. Clearly the market is telling you this is the new price. And I know during that time I fought a lot with the appraiser on the phone. One time I have a listing, the buyer, I was representing the seller. The house was listed for $250,000, if I remember. It was a $250,000 home, and then a small 3-bedroom, 2-bath. And then the appraisal, we have multiple offers, and then we end up about $30,000 above list price, so $280,000. The appraisal came back at $247,000 or something like that. So we had a big gap. And I was trying to explain the appraiser that we didn't agree with that price. So I sent him the other offers and all the term and all that. So I had to fight hard to have the appraiser to go back. But he was telling me, Danielle, what you say is right, but I can't base the appraisal based on your offer and what's going on right now. I have to go with 6 months. But I say, clearly the market is not the same in 2021 that in 2020. So it's difficult for you to just use that. You have to include what's going on the market. So I fight him, and then he went back to his numbers a little bit, and then he gave us $15,000 above list price. My seller was very disappointed, but that's the best we could have.
Yeah, so the person that the person that bought the house is the one that set the market at that time for that area, because that's when the comps start changing once it was sold.
Yeah, and a lot of houses were pending, similar to ours, were pending around the same time, but because they didn't close, I couldn't use anything. So I had to call a lot of the other listing agent and asking them, how many offers did you get on the table for your home? Because you're very similar to mine, all above list price. I say, I'm not trying to do anything malice against you. I know you're not supposed to, but I'm trying to help you. If you help me, I'm helping you. Exactly. So we can have this appraisal to adjust this number for my listings. Because if you have $30,000 to $40,000 above your price and you have an appraiser, they have to do their job, right? Just tell me how much is it, and then how many offers did you get. So I had to do all of this investigation and show to the appraisers. That's why he worked a little bit and redone his numbers a little, but it was just 15,000. I'm funny. It's funny. I'm saying it was just 15,000. 15,000 is still a lot.
That's a lot of money.
But we were coming from 30,000 above it, right?
Exactly.
So that was a lot of homework on my part. That was fun though. That was fun to go back and forth with that man.
That was a chaotic time.
Yeah, it was a chaotic time. But we can see it here. Look at here, 2020, how the price 2020, 2021, how the price went up. The sales of home went up significantly because everybody was on the street, and during that time, that stimulus check will help a lot of people.
Yeah,
and that 2% interest rate was amazing.
Yeah, it stimulated people to stimulate to buy. So, yeah, I mean, it was a great time. It was a great time, but you know, with that drop in rate and everything, that brings us to where we're at now. For the last 2 to 3 years, we're over here, sitting on pins and needles trying to keep the market going. But
I know. But also look at the next graph right here. Mm-hmm. The home price went up after 7 of the last 8. So the prices.
So there's always going to be inflation and equity going up within the home. So what it looks like with elections, once the consumer figure out who the actual president's going to be, then they're more comfortable with purchasing a home and seeing that there's more equity in homes as the president is chosen.
Mm-hmm. It's so crazy how the median price also went up. This is into the entire United States, whereas the average most home are way above $350,000 now.
Mm-hmm. That's the midway. That's the norm.
It is crazy. The same. I know when I first started real estate, you could buy a home, a simple new construction in Richmond, Texas, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,400 square feet. You could have it at $120,000. Mm-hmm. Now there's nothing less than $350,000. It's crazy.
Yeah, inventory's low. So supply is low, demand is high.
And the price, especially Houston, because we are, how we call that, a graph city? Graph city?
A graph city?
Graph city? Graph?
Okay.
You know when they graph the heart?
Okay.
How we call that?
Okay.
I forgot how I would say, but it's an implant city. I don't always say that. I'm trying to be sophisticated, but I guess I missed the mark. Yeah, but that's okay.
I'm trying to catch up with you.
But what I mean, people moved in here a lot.
Oh, for sure.
So we do have more people coming in than people going out. So that means there is a demand for the city, and the new construction around here are just crazy. And what I realized is when you have a community or an area, there's a lot of people. The price start going up. What happened? The developer go ahead and buy another land somewhere, and then buy. So the prices are going up, but they're not going like crazy up like some other places in America, right? Yeah. So you can still find a $350,000 home, but now before you could find it in Richmond, but now you have to go all the way to Sealy, Texas, to find lower prices. Cypress, if you're close to Cypress, you need to go now to Magnolia.
Yeah.
In order to find something less than $400,000 that you can truly afford.
Mm-hmm.
Conroe is booming like crazy. They have plenty of new home, but the thing is, you sacrifice the travel. Yeah. If you work downtown, good luck to you.
That traffic.
You need to ask your boss to give you a time to work from home, at least 2 or 3 days a week to work from home, because that distance is just crazy.
And then these interest rates, you can see on the last page here how the interest rates started back in 1980. You're looking at 12.
Oh, my God. 12.
Yeah, almost 13, 14%.
When people tell you the interest rate are too high at 7%, you pull that page. Yeah.
Exactly. Even though back in 1980, the prices of houses were cheaper, right? But from 1980, let's go all the way to 2000, you're going from 14,000 all the way down to 8%, right? Mm-hmm. And then look, going all the way to 2020, when we hit that influx, we were all the way down to a 3% to 2.5%.
I just realized in 2012 the interest rate were between 3.5 to 3.35%.
That was a good
I didn't realize that. I thought we were in the 4.
That was a good time. That was definitely a good time. So fast forward now, we're in 2024. Your mid rate is about 5.8 going FHA. So we should look at rates really dropping, into the mid four and a half, 4.5, early 5. That we'll be looking at 2025, hopefully, once the president is elected. So hopefully this housing market will turn. It has to.
But no matter what we do and what's going on, people need to live somewhere. Yeah. So I think real estate is a good business to be in.
No, it is.
Period.
It is.
Period. No matter what, people will need to live somewhere.
They would always need a roof over their head.
Just like the milk business. No matter what, parents will always keep buying milk for their babies.
Yes, and people are going to be having kids and trying to grow their families and things like that, so they're going to need room, space to live in. So
yeah, but also the cost of waiting is heavy because the price of home keep going up. Yeah. They're not going down. Since I've been in America, it's been 17 years. I feel like when I came here, my bread used to call my little French bread. The HEB used to be less than $1. I used to be 90 cents, 80 cents, something like that. And then now it's like almost $3.
But that's normal as well. Inflation has always existed, right? Things have always been cheaper beforehand. As time goes on, prices start to increase.
And there is something that really it's the fact that people don't realize. I remember when it was 2021 to 2022. I have a client who called me and say, "Hey, I want to buy a house. I want to buy a house." I was like, "Okay." So we start looking. He start getting frustrated because multiple offers. So I said, "Let's take a look at new construction." And we start looking at new construction, but he felt like the size of the home for the price compared to the resale property were not good enough. And then he just got discouraged and he stopped. And the rate were, 3%. And I'm like, no, you should not stop. He said, no. I'm just sick and tired. I'm going to come back another time.
Yeah.
No problem. And then fast forward 2024. Danielle, I'm ready to buy a house. And then the anecdote in here is we went back and looked at a property that I showed to him with the builder back in 2022. So I showed him the property with the builder. It was an inventory home, and it was listed for $370, $360. I don't remember. That was pretty much the price in full sure. So I was like, this is crazy because I showed you this house with the builder in 2022. And then now we are back into that property, and guess how much was the price?
How much?
$440,000.
Oh, wow.
Yes, $440,000. This is how much the house was. The same house we looked at with the builder 2 years prior, right? Because that was end of 2021, beginning of 2022, before the rates start changing in the summer of 2022. So, and then he say, "I'm tired, whatever. I don't want to do this no more. It's very frustrating." And then now we came back. It was $440,000. That same house. And I say, "You see that house that we look?" I say, "I show you this house with the builder." Now the price is $440,000. If you have bought it at that time, you have over $65,000 in equity today. Yeah. And then he ended up purchasing another home at $440,000, and he was trying not to pass $400,000.
Yeah.
Because he had to go up, and his monthly payment was a little bit higher than someone who had bought the same price at 3% interest rate. That's just crazy. So the price, you pay a price for waiting.
Oh, you do. And it's just, it's the expectation of not knowing what the market's going to be, thinking you're going to be able to get a better deal, but things are on the up, especially when it comes to real estate. So waiting definitely can become a problem.
Okay, guys, so hopefully you learned a lot today. We are here to help you. If you have any question regarding lending, make sure to contact Abu.
Please.
And if you would like to explore the possibility to sell your property in a greater Houston metro or even buy one, reach out to me. Thank you so much for watching. Drop your comment. Have you had similar experience? What's your thought about this election and your real estate portfolio? We want to hear from you guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. I came here in 2007, right in the middle of the crazy crisis. If your heart is not into it, do not do it. That's what I always tell them.
If you're making around $70K, look to be able to qualify for a home somewhere around $250, $275 in that bracket. as
onions and juices and all that, and put some lemon and onion, and you make him drink it, right?
And Alex, all my listings need a video. All of them.